you? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. Thank you so much for joining with me today. If you are new here, hi, I'm Kelly. I'm the Frugal Fun Mum based in Adelaide, Australia. I want to welcome you to our channel where we have lots and lots of fun and crazy things that happen here. Lots of content to entertain you, and also, you know, some tips and tricks to help you save money and just have some fun in general. So if that sounds like your jam, please consider subscribing because we would love to have you as part of our Frugal family. Don't forget you can also join our Facebook group as well. So let's get into today's video. So video 8 of our Back to Basics series, where we're in November and we're looking at food. How to shop, how to set a budget, how to meal plan, how to cook it, how to eat it, all the things related to food. Because as I've mentioned before in earlier videos, it was probably the first challenge I came across being newly married, when I suddenly don't know anything. So I'm bringing you this series to try and help you, or maybe even yourself, think about how food shopping works and how to get back to basics. And today's video, we're going to be looking at tips and tricks for you to get the best bang for your buck. So the biggest thing I always say to people is that I know my prices. I know how much things cost, and so I have a solid knowledge and foundation for when I'm shopping, meal planning, budgeting, etc, etc. And the biggest tool that has helped me to do that is what's called a price book. And we're going to go through this today and give you all my tips and tricks about how this works. So this price book probably got created a couple of years after I got married, because when we were first food shopping, I was just like, a price is a price. And when the specials came out of the catalogs, they're the things that usually drew my attention in and got me the most. It still happens today, but now I have a little bit more knowledge and thinking power. With a price book, it helps me to stop the paralysis by analysis. I know what prices are. I'm not being tempted so much by the sale and the price and the flashing lights and everything else. So using a tool like this has really helped me to solidify my knowledge. And so now I can sit here and go, I know how much sugar costs, butter, bread, milk, etc, etc. So when I go to the shop and see markdown stickers, I know if it's a good price or not, comparing to what I know the cost of groceries are. So how do you set up a price book? Even mine has changed through the years. I tend not to keep as much information anymore, but you do you, it works for you. So the first thing, you just get a folder. You can hand write it in a notebook if you want, which is what I do, and I'll show you that a bit later. I've just got a title page because I'm super old school and I think title pages are important. And then the first thing here I have is my shopping list. So I write down all the things that I'm needing to shop this week, and I kind of go online and look at my pricing. You can look back at our videos going through our junk mail and some tips and tricks about that, and I'll jump online and look at the prices as well, and I'll kind of get an indication on what's on sale, and I'll put a few stars next to things to say they're super on sale. And then I make any notes of anything that's super on sale for this week, and that might be something I might look at depending on what my budget is or what I'm sort of looking at shopping for in store. So I kind of have a rough outlay of what I'm focusing on for that week. You can write this out every week if you want. You can white it out, change it around, totally up to you. So writing out your shopping list, remember we did that whole thing here where we did our breakfast, lunch and dinner, and we were working out the foods that we would need and then on average what the pricing is, so you can use either or. I know this looks like a lot of work. Mostly I've done this to show you guys, but I used to do this back in the day. I now don't really need to do it as much. It is a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but if you seriously are looking at reducing your spending, it might be worth analyzing just for a short little while to see exactly where your money is going. So the best way to start creating a bit of a list of all the things that you do buy and what the prices are, because I know I don't remember anything by the time I get home, is to keep your receipts. You can go through this and then write down what you did buy and what the price was. This is where pen and paper, I do believe, will out-trump a app because I can write all over this in pen. I can write any notes, what's a half price special, standard everyday price, etc, etc. I know by looking at this myself what's what because I've been doing it forever, but I can write notes on there, I can highlight things, I can do anything I need. So that is one way for you to start building your own price book. Of course, carrying around this with you is massive and it might take up a lot of room. However, I'm the kind of person that if I have it, I feel secure, and then that way I can double check anything that's in the store and look at what the prices are doing. After a while, I tend to sort of just leave this at home and I'll come home and double check it, but I tend to carry around a notebook with me the entire time, it's upside down, and that way as I'm shopping, I'm writing down what the things are and the prices, because usually this is how I track for doing my minimum spend, because as I said, my phone is usually dying, so the calculator's gone, so I can sit there and add it all up. What I also do as I'm shopping is I'll tend to write down foods and things that I see in the shop to remind me and jog my memory for the future. I don't always go shopping with a list. I know I sit here and go to you should take a list, but you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Do as I say, not as I do. I don't, and especially when I get in a shop and I'm dealing with like a minimum spend for a Flybuys offer, my brain just gets all and then I try and shop very strategically. So this is where I will have this book with me in my handbag, and then I have notes here about things I need to spend in the future. Especially if I've already hit my minimum spend, I'll write down things that I can use for next time, as well as the bread, milk, etc, etc. But sometimes, especially by week 3, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm struggling by then to get the prices up to buy stuff, because I'm not just going to buy a whole lot of lollies and chips. They're on my markdown shopping things, so I want to stock up on canned goods or any staple foods that are there. Having a price checker will also help you, as I mentioned before, deal with the paralysis by analysis, and you're not having to second guess yourself in store. When it comes to things like Milo and Vegemite, my brain freezes every time because we don't buy it very often. Coffee, I know because I buy that quite regularly, but I know that the big can and the tin that we get, shelf price is like 20 bucks. When it's on sale, 14. Grab it, bargain. But other things like Milo and Vegemite, because they come in so many different sizes, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what is a good deal. I try and work on the rule of thumb is $1 equals 100 grams or a kilo when it refers to meat. And so that's a baseline that I have, but every store has a different price on Milo and Vegemite. So having this really helps me with the prices. And I'm going to give you an example here also. Way back when, the adage was always bulk is better, and these days it's not necessarily the case, and I'm going to give you an example. Sugar. In 2019, 1 kilo bag of sugar at Coles and Woolworths and Aldi was $1. At Coles and Woolworths for a 2 kilo bag, it's $1.80, whereas at Aldi you'd be paying $2 because they don't do 2 kilo bags. Roll around to 2021 and inflation is here big time. A 1 kilo bag at Coles and Woolworths is $1.50, whereas at Aldi it's still $1. And so if you were to get the 2 kilo bag at Coles and Woolworths, it's now $2.20, whereas at Aldi you'd be better off buying 2 1 kilo bags for $2. So here is a perfect example of how bulk is not always better. So let me turn the camera around. I'm going to show you a few of the pages that I've written on, the shopping list and some of the other trackers, and a little bit of a surprise for you as well. So here is a bit of a shopping list that I would be doing as a tracking when I'm going through my junk mail and other things like that. I would put here the day and the range of the catalogs that are here, and then I can keep this inside my folder for future reference of what things were on sale. I've got here the food that I've got, and then the supermarkets, Coles, Woolworths, Foodland and Aldi, and I'm going to write through here all the prices. So for example, chicken here, I know at Coles is $9.50, but at Foodland this week it's on sale for $6.99. I've put a little star there to know that it's on super special, so I know then that that's going to be a really good deal. The same with the chicken sauce that we have here. It's normally $3, but it's a super sale at Foodland this week for $2. So I'm probably going to go and stock up on 2 or 3 of them. I do that for just about all of the items on my list as I'm going through my junk mail and things, looking at what the catalogue specials are for that week. So the next bit in my book, I have all the sections. I have Aldi, Coles, I've got Foodland, and I've got Woolworths. I've just put this together as a bit of an idea to show you guys what's what. But down here, of course, I've got all the foods that we buy. And this first column is the shelf prices that I know are pretty stable. And on here is the best ever price I've ever seen them. So of course, I've grabbed my receipts and I've gone through and written down what the prices were of things. I've used the exact same food list for Aldi as I have Coles, Foodland and Woolworths, because I'm curious to know what they sell at Coles. Can I get something comparison at Aldi? So I can't buy some of the coffee Nescafe sachets that I get. Aldi have their own brand, so I write a note about that, but I will still go to Coles for that, or Woolworths if they have a special for that week. So I can see quite easily that on average carrots are $2 a bag, but the best ever price I've seen is 79 cents. So if I see that price again, I'm going to know it's really, really good. The same at Coles, I know the best ever price I've seen is $1. At my local fruit and veg shop, which is another page I normally have, they're usually same, 79, 89 cents. So it's when I'll stock up more there. I just didn't include the fruit and veg page in my book here. And the same going through here. So we've got what the prices are as a shelf price and what the best ever sale price is here. I've done the same for Foodland. I just haven't put the prices in that's here because I tend not to get a lot of stuff, only the super sale things that I showed you before. And the same with Woolworths here. You can add all your prices in. It helps too. You could take this with you, as I said, and you could write the prices down as you're shopping and going through. Looking at the meat, here we have Foodland, I have Woolworths, and I have Coles. I'll just try and move you a bit there. So the bowl of roast that we normally get, I know the best ever price is $12.99. Same with the steak. The best ever chicken price I've seen is $6.99. Drumsticks and sausages. We don't eat a lot of sausages anymore, but I tend to just to keep the price there. I know that chicken breast at Woolworths and Coles is $9.50, but again, I haven't ever seen a really, really good sale. But if I was to get a markdown with a sticker and I hadn't been to Foodland to get a really, really good sale, I would know compared to the $9.50 if it was a great markdown or not. Especially when you're looking at some of the brand names, when they do their markdown specials, it can be the same price as the Coles brand, home brand, or even a bit cheaper. So this is where it helps to really know your prices. Just for something fun, I found in my computer from 2009 this price guide, and yeah, a bag of carrots used to be 69 cents, best ever price. Home brand cheese for half a kilo was only $2.85, and for the slices pack that we normally buy, it was only $2.65. It's now $6.50. So I know it's been a lot of years since 2009, but that's just how inflation goes through. It was also interesting to go through this and see some of the things that we used to regularly buy. We no longer buy apricot nectar. I no longer buy chocolate beanies. I don't even think they exist anymore, and other things like that. So it's always a good idea too to update this every year with your food changes and your menu plans as well. The price book will help you if you carry it in and it's tidy, especially if you're new, when you go to places like Woolworths to do your minimum spend. As you guys know, I'm a Coles girl, as where I do a lot of my shopping, so I know the prices inside and out. But I tell you, with that minimum $50 spend, if I had this, it really would have helped, because the sugar that I just talked about, I went to go buy it and I saw it was $2.20 and I went, whoa, no, I'm not going to buy that. I know at Coles it's $1.80. So I went into Coles to grab some. Nope, it's $2.20 as well. So that's where the price book isn't going to help me, because literally overnight it jumped up. But at least I can come home and now write a note about it, and I'll know for future instances. on my phone, it's actually really hard to scroll and search for some of the things at Coles. Even in the app, it wasn't always working for me. I know it's really easy for others to go, I just use the app. But when you're there and things aren't working as they should be, this is where pen and paper will win out in some areas. You do you, I'll do me. As I say, I know that technology should be there and should be working, but when your phone's flat and you're in a hurry and you're also in a panic because you don't know what's what in a new shop, yeah, you got to do what gets you through. So there is my overall thoughts and ideas about the price book. I will always use it over an app, because what I'm seeing in a lot of Facebook groups is the app focus on the cheapest item, mostly being a brand product or what the half price sales is. But I want to know home brand pricing, what it is. Also, a lot of the apps do not factor in Foodland or Aldi, and so they're just comparing Coles and Woolworths to one another. I understand that the apps will develop more information and technology down the track, but for me, as I said, when I'm in a shop, my phone's running flat, and also I'm going to forget to use the app. At least having my price book with me or my other little notebook, I've got all the information there at hand. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you've used a price book, if you used one now, if you use one in the future, or if you use an app, and any tips or tricks that you want to share with the community, feel free to leave it below. Please give this video a thumbs up if it has helped you with any information or got you thinking about anything else. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, because we would love to have you as part of our Frugal Fun family. Don't forget, you can join our Facebook community as well. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!